We're rolling down a rural New York State road in the new 2024 Volkswagen Atlas, spread out in the cockpit. There's room galore for your legs, head, stuff, you name it. Its snappy, snazzy instrument panel and infotainment screens are rich with features. The cabin looks premium, with soft-touch materials abound. VW's American-style SUV built by Americans in America for Americans has gone fully native. You'll notice we haven't even touched on what it's propelled by or how it drives. Let's be honest, in the class where it plays, big space, tech-forward features, and a premium interior and exterior feel for the price are far bigger selling points. That isn't to say it's terrible behind the wheel. In fact, it's improved there as well. But as the saying goes, the Atlas has it where it counts. We haven't exactly been kind to the Atlas since it first launched here back in 2017. At the time, VW trumpeted that it had built an SUV specifically designed with American sensibilities in mind, and that it would assemble it here in the US at its Chattanooga, Tennessee plant for good measure. Our main gripes to this point have centered around its lack of excitement behind the wheel and inefficient powertrains, all at a price that didn't net you enough for your money. But since its first refresh for the 2021 model year, we've also given the Atlas high marks for its spaciousness, third-row usability, and exterior style. With the 2024 Atlas and its fastbacked Atlas Cross Sport two-row sibling, VW has accentuated those strengths while addressing its weak points. While the results are somewhat mixed, on balance it's a stronger package. As for the powertrain, Volkswagen has taken a less is more approach by deep-sixing the outgoing model's 2.0-liter turbo4 and 3.6-liter VR6 six-cylinder and replacing both with one engine, VW's revamped Evo 4 2.0-liter turbo inline four-cylinder, a version of which is also under the hoods of other current models including the Golf R, GTI, and Arteon. Volkswagen calls the engine arguably the most advanced gas engine it's ever produced, and quite possibly the last. Rated at 269 horsepower and 273 lb-ft of torque, it boasts 34 more horsepower and 15 more lb-ft of torque than the outgoing 4. Though it's 7 horses shy of the departing V6, it has 7 more lb-ft and spreads that twist over a broader rev range than did the 6. And it does it all on regular unleaded. While the updates inherent to the Evo 4 engine are myriad and impressive, what most consumers are going to want to know is how efficient the 2024 Atlas is over the outgoing model. In short, it's markedly better in the MPG department than the V6, but only marginally so when pitted against the old 4, although of course you're getting a much more powerful and technologically advanced engine. The good news is the new engine has little problem motivating the Atlas. VW says the 0 to 60 miles per hour time has improved by as much as 0.8 seconds over the V6 model depending on spec. It isn't wildly powerful, but get it in its sweet spot and it feels perky, with a high-pitched howl when you put the go pedal to the floorboard. As before, the engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which can take a beat to apportion the power when you ask it to get aggressive, but is otherwise more than fine in most any normal driving situation. Is this combo going to knock your socks off? No, but it's perfectly adequate for this SUV. Driving the Atlas around as one does. Also adequate is how the new Atlas handles itself in a typical daily driving situation. It hasn't exactly made a giant leap forward in that area, so our prior gripes aren't completely addressed. But this is where the enthusiast ends and the regular driver begins. At low speeds the steering is super light, which isn't a bad thing for maneuverability, and it firms up well enough at speed. There's a bit of a dead spot in the wheel, but this SUV tracks well and isn't something anyone other than someone playing a super sport driver would notice. Make an aggressive move into a tight corner and the Atlas will lean a smidge, but it doesn't play dead and roll over. Those of you who were looking for the Atlas to be more of an off-road machine are going to continue to look, however. Despite the addition of a peak edition model with more rugged tires and an adventurous look, this isn't a trail-attacking SUV. On the flip side, Atlases can tow up to 5,000 pounds and VW's well-established 4-motion AWD is available across the lineup.